Yeah, the men of the Old Testament, they had faith in Hamashiach that the promise would come, and us of today have faith that the promise came. So we're looking back, we're pointing back to the first century. We're pointing back to an event that happened, to an event that took place. We're saying, look, this happened. This is real. He was born, he lived, he died, he conquered death, and then in his death, he rose back up. He's alive. He sits at the right hand of the Father. He's our mediator. He's our high chief priest. He fulfilled the prophecy. He fulfilled the prophets. He fulfilled the law. So he's deserving of this glory. He's deserving of this honor. He did what we couldn't do. He did what Adam couldn't do. And I was be tempted by the devil, right? And succeed. He did what the children of Israel couldn't do. And I was in the wilderness being tempted by the devil, and he succeeded. And there was a ceremony that was held in heaven. People was weeping, people was crying. Nobody was able to open up the book. Nobody was able to release the seals, right? But the Lord, he did this. He did this. He's deserving of this glory. And when you push the law on people, what you're doing is you're pushing bondage on them. See, the Lord came to free us from that so that we could be able to walk in the newness of the Spirit, right? To destroy the letter of the law, the Levitical priesthood, to establish the order of Melchizedek. See, the persecution in the first century was centered around the order of Melchizedek. The high chief priest, Joseph Caiaphas, Ananias, his step-pops, his father-in-law, the Sanhedrin, the scribes, the Pharisees. See, they were persecuting people that was setting up the order of Melchizedek. And now the war was between the Levitical priesthood and the order of Melchizedek. Not too many people really understand this. And because they don't understand this, right, they confuse the two. See, if the Apostle Paul was pushing the Levitical priesthood, there would have been no beef. If the apostles were pushing the Levitical priesthood, why would they put to death? Why would they stone? Why would they persecute it? Right? You see this order of Melchizedek. When you make mention of the royal law, which is he said I'll give you a new commandment, right? And when he makes mention of the royal law, you're talking about the Malak Tazadat. You're talking about two things that underneath the Levitical can't even coexist, right? The priesthood and kingship. There was two separate things, right? But was it there the whole time and did we miss it? Yeah, of course it was. When David ate the showbread, it was showing you similitude of the Malak Tazadak, the near future, right? So when the Lord came and he was, they was picking the corn, those Pharisees wanted to stone them for doing that, right? So he made mention of David. All right, when David was hungry, then because why? Out of David's line was what? The king. So him eating the showbread, that line was only for who? The priest, right? When Peter says, "Look, ye are royal priesthood," that's not. We're dealing with something totally different, brother. Something totally different from the Levitical priesthood. I'm gonna tell you this: the Levitical priesthood, it condemns you. Right? Well, why was there a need that another priesthood should arise after the order of Melchizedek? Because if there were perfection, if we could have been perfected by the Levitical, right, there will have been no need for the order of Melchizedek, right? So when you're pushing that first covenant, you're pushing death. Paul called it the ministration of death. It brought death to you. It was Mount Sinai, right? It was how you got right with the Lord. It wasn't what made you right with the Lord. And once you failed in the attempt at getting right with the Lord via the Levitical, enters Hamashiach into the chat. The Lord sent his only begotten son in the form of sinful flesh to do what you couldn't do. And when you try to say that you can do what you couldn't do, and that you didn't need him to do what he did, it's a spit in the face, bro. It's a spit in the face. And when you say, you keep the old law of Moses to the best of your ability, it's asinine, it's dumb, it's stupid, bro. If you really understood what you were saying, you'd never make a statement like that, because what's on the line is salvation. Is salvation. And not only that, what you're doing is you're actually cursing yourself. You're cursing yourself. If you don't understand one book, just I understand the book of Galatians, bro. It's going to teach you the gospel. It's going to teach you the gospel. And sadly, not a lot of people are really preaching the gospel. Not a lot of people will lean into this red letter. And not a lot of people are understanding this covenant. Not a lot of people really believe in the words of Hamashiach, bro. We're living it. This is the great apostasy, the great falling away. The further you get from the first century, we're living at a time in which hell is in hell. Angels aren't angels. Virgins aren't virgins. The new covenant ain't the New Testament ain't the new covenant. The new covenant ain't the New Testament. Forever is not forever. Eternity is not eternity. The Gentiles are not the Gentiles. So the Gentiles are the old and not the Gentiles. This is bad. This is a lack of faith in the Bible. This is terrible. This is apostasy. This is a great falling away. This is perverting the gospel, which when you pervert the gospel, you twist the truth. You don't need to put your own spin on this. Let's get the book of Galatians, bro. Galatians chapter 2, verse 1, I do not frustrate the grace of God, for if righteousness come by the law, then Christ is dead in vain. They're telling men that they're underneath the old law and underneath grace at the same time. Bro, you'd never, ever make a statement like that, bro. You'd never make a statement like that. That's totally against the scriptures. Right? I do not frustrate the grace of God, for if righteousness come by the law, then Christ is dead in vain. Yo, bro, one of the worst mistakes you can make is making the Lord's death in vain. That means you're responsible for his blood, bro. If you're responsible for his blood, there's only one place you can go. There's no salvation for you. You've literally blasphemed the Holy Spirit. You literally rejected the Holy Spirit, bro. You rejected the Holy Spirit. You literally said, let his blood be upon us and our children. There's no salvation for anybody. That's why Paul said, it's crazy, bro. Galatians 1:6, I marvel that ye are so soon removed from him that called you into the grace of Hamashiach to another gospel. When you're called into grace, it's because you're pulled out of the first covenant. You're pulled out of the administration of death. You're pulled out of the Levitical priesthood. You're no longer underneath the law of Moses. Now you underneath grace. Like, stop with this grace time period. Let's do this. Let me show you something real quick. So let's go to the book of Galatians, right? Let me show you what grace is. And this is the most important factor. And this is, I've concluded that the majority of these people teaching, these guys that are telling you about robotic dogs, like the brothers say, missiles and nukes and niggas with mega hats and flying and shooting laser beams out of their eyes and stuff like that. The people that are telling you, I'm telling you, bro, they don't know what grace is, right? And as I read out grace, you tell me if this sounds like something that's a time period, which this is something that you're going to receive until the kingdom of heaven, until God comes. Or you tell me, is this something that's going to be giving to the believers starting once they hear the word, and this is going to continue forever? This grace will be on you forever. It'll never leave a true believer of Hamashiach, right? So now let's go to First Corinthians. Let's go to the definition of grace, right? I'm gonna read this one more time. I marvel that you are so soon removed from him that called you unto the grace of Hamashiach, unto another gospel. So if you remove yourself from this grace, and if you place yourself in your mind underneath this first covenant, underneath this law of Moses, underneath the Levitical priesthood, right? You're dead. You're dead, right? You're dead. And let me show you something real quick, right? So let's go to the Bible coordinates and let's read the definition of grace.
Strong's G 5485. Charis. Charis.
Right? Grace, that which affords joy, pleasure, delight, sweetness, charm, lovingness, grace of speech, good willing, loving kindness, favor, of the merciful kindness by which God exerts his holy influence upon the souls, turns them to Hamashiach, keeps them, strengthens them, increases them in Christian faith, knowledge, affection, kindles them to the exercise of the Christian virtues, which is due to grace, the spiritual condition of one governed by the power of divine grace, a token or proof of grace, benefit, a gift, bountiful, thanks, a service, favors, recompense, reward. You tell me if this is something that's going to be placed upon you until a certain time. This is God. Grace is God's favor. It's his mercy. It's the understanding that you deserve death. You don't deserve nothing. You don't deserve the sunlight. You don't deserve oxygen. You don't deserve clean water. You don't deserve life. You don't deserve children. You don't deserve a glass of wine. You don't deserve nothing. You deserve grace. But because you believe on the Son of the living God and what he did in the first century, right? And you believe that wholeheartedly, and that little bit of faith, that little mustard seed, right, was planted in you. So now you've allowed the Lord to work through you, right? And you heard the word, right? The gospel of your salvation, the engrafted word which is able to save your soul. And you believed, starting with your mind, right? That this man could transform your life. You can do a 180, right? And you received the Holy Spirit and you stopped sinning. You stopped watching porn. You stopped stealing. You stopped coveting, right? You stop hating. Why? Because it's not you that really wants to stop hating. It's the fruit of the Spirit that works in you. So this joy that this grace is stuck on, it abides in you. You can't hide it. You can't run away from it. You're not gonna be angry every day you wake up. It doesn't. You could be in jail, bro. You could be locked up. You could be in a lion's den, right? You could be in Babylon. You could be in the most remotest parts of Africa and Southeast Asia and Mexico, wherever you are, right? That kingdom will dwell deep in you, embedded in your body, in your mind, in your soul. So it's not something that you cannot be underneath grace and be underneath the first covenant at the same time. Does that make sense to you? Bro, you break one law, you break them all. The Bible is very clear on this. So he says, I marvel that you are so soon removed from him that called you unto grace of Hamashiach to another gospel, which is not another, but to be some that trouble you and would pervert the gospel of Hamashiach. when you take the truth, bro, and you twist it, or you take a talent and you hide it, bro, yo, bro, there's no salvation for you. There's no salvation for you. There's no salvation for you. That's a serious offense. You guys could shalom and Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah and double honors to the elders on camera all day long, bro. You don't know that the Lord is watching you. You don't know that the Lord is watching you, bro. If you don't believe, you don't believe. What you hanging around for? Right? Because this over here, this ain't no hang around shit. You just can't just hang around. This ain't that. This ain't that, my man. This ain't no hang around shit. Excuse my mouth, man. This thing is real, bro. This thing ain't no joke. Satan is out here hunting souls. He plays for keeps. He plays for eternity. We're not warning you of no goddamn nuke. A nuclear missile will be the least of your problems when you hit that throne and the Lord say, "Depart from me, you worker of iniquity, for I have not known you." You gonna wish your punishment was a nuclear missile. You gonna wish your punishment was a nuclear missile. This thing ain't no joke. You guys are playing games. If Proverbs 1:7 says the fear of the Most High is the beginning of the fear of let me get it. Right? So this is the book of Proverbs. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge and wisdom. But fools despise knowledge. Proverbs 1:7, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge and wisdom, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. If the fear of the Most High is the beginning of knowledge and wisdom, right? And if to be a reprobate is to be void of judgment, which is to be without Hamashiach, examine yourselves to see if you be in the faith, right? Know ye not your own selves. If Hamashiach is in you, if Hamashiach is not in you, you're a reprobate, right? So to be void of judgment is, and the fear of the Most High, the ultimate fear of the Most High is to fear his judgment, which is his judgment is hell. He mentioned hell more times than he mentioned the kingdom of heaven, right? When you teach a doctrine that hell is not an actual place, it doesn't exist because you wiped it out, and not only this eternity is a time period. There's no way you could reach the epitome of wisdom, bro. Because Satan has wiped the fear from you. This is why you have guys that maneuver the way that they maneuver, because they really think that regardless of whatever it is that they do, they're going to enter into the kingdom. If this is the case, I mean, what are you fighting for? Virgin is not a virgin no more in the scriptures. This is how far they've gone, because they can't change the words. They just got to get you not to believe. Satan just got to get you not to believe. Let me go to John. So this is John chapter 5. Verse 23. That all men should honor the Son, even as they honor the Father. He that honoreth not the Son honoreth not the Father, which have sent him. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believe on me, on him that sent me, have everlasting life. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believe on him that sent me, have everlasting life. One more time. I'm going to show you the power of belief, bro. And this is what they're trying to strip from you. They don't want you to believe, bro. They want you to believe in everything else, bro. They want you to be worried about what's in the skies, and if this is a drone, or if this is that, or they want you to be worried about what Russia's doing. They want you to be worried about all that. It doesn't matter. None of that matters if you don't have this gospel, bro. None of this, then all of it is in vain, right? If you're denying the covenant, it's in vain if you're denying the covenant. Right? Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believeth on him that sent me have everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto life. A lot of you guys are in condemnation because you do not believe. He that believeth not is condemned already. You're already condemned because you've allowed your body to be used as a vessel for Satan to twist and distort his gospel. And how do you do that? No, the Gentiles aren't the Gentiles. Ox be playing. No, virgin ain't a virgin. Ox be playing. You deny his divinity. Why? For what? No, hell ain't hell, bro. No, don't teach that. Yeah, it's the New Testament, but it ain't the New Testament. The New Testament and the Old Testament is just the same thing. It's the same thing. The Levitical priesthood and order melts. No, you don't get all into that. What do you mean free from the old law? No, he's wicked. Look, he's wicked. He's foaming at the mouth. They want you to feel bad for speaking the truth. They want you to feel some type of way because the name of the game is for Satan is to get you not to believe. The red lettering. The Lord told you to love. Like, all right, Lord, aye, Captain. Love your adversaries. Cool, I got you. Abba said, this is my son who I'm well pleased. Hear ye him. What's the problem? I'm going to show you what the problem is. Right? John chapter 8. John chapter 8. Verse 41. You do the deeds of your father. Then you say to him. Then they said to him, we be not born of fornication, for we had one father. Hamashiach said to them, if God were your father, you would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from God. Neither I came of myself, but he that sent me. Why do you not understand my speech, even because you can't hear my word? Ye are your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye would do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth. These guys can't hear the Lord's speech because they're of their father the devil. We don't say this to make fun of you, to down you guys, but we're telling you what's the problem. Hamashiach said in Matthew the 23rd chapter, call nobody Abba. You got one Abba. Right? Call nobody rabbi. Why would you do a video going up against the red lettering, bro? Oh, you gotta understand Ox, High Chief Priest, Abba, bit like chill. It's not personal with buddy. I don't even know buddy. I'm just rolling in the spirit. Right? The Lord told you how to pray. When you pray like this, Abba now our Father in heaven, he gave you the name. He gave you the blueprint. Why wouldn't you follow him? Right? Why wouldn't you follow him? Right? So now when you're dealing with the daily prayer, you was commanded to forgive your adversaries. It tells you to forgive forgive those that trespass on you as you forgive you pray for the Lord to forgive you for your trespasses as you forgive the people who trespassed on you. So that's telling me that a lot of you guys ain't even saying a daily prayer. The daily prayer cuts cuts your whole doctrine, bro. If you can't forgive people that's trespassing on you, how the hell do you expect the Lord to forgive you for your trespasses, bro? You guys got a hard time with that red lettering, bro. You guys have a hard time with that red lettering. You have a hard time listening to the voice of God. This is what we're finding out. This is what we're finding out. When you're in doubt, you go to that red lettering. You go to that red lettering, bro. You guys are really totally out of order. You talking about somebody's out of order because they go up against your king. No, you out of order because you underneath the Levitical priest. You underneath a whole order that is dead. It cannot perfect you. Let me see that. What do you say? what do you say? Let's go. Let's go to First Peter's 2:9. First Peter's 2:9. It says, but ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises unto him who have called you out of darkness into this marvelous light, which in time past were not a people, but are now the people of God, which had not obtained mercy, but now now have obtained mercy. This is crazy. This is crazy. And you know what's so crazy about this? That guys will read this. Let's get DEU real quick. 7 and 6. Right? It says DEU 7 and 6. Now, this is the old covenant. This is the old contract. This is the contract that's null and void, which guys still read as if this contract is still alive. This is disannul, bro. Like, how don't you not know that? Like, what are you reading? This is disannulled. Right? Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 7. It says, for thou art holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Who is this speaking to? This is speaking to all of the children of Israel. All of the children of Israel. Let's read Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spoke unto all Israel on this side of the Jordan in the wilderness in the plain over against the Red Sea between Parnah and Trophy. So this was right here, Deuteronomy 6 and 7. When the Lord was speaking, he was speaking to all Israel. Let's read the fine print. Because why do we read this and let's see, look, we're the chosen. I'm not speaking from a Gentile perspective, brothers and sisters. I'm not somebody that's just trying to. I'm a Gentile. I'm trying to just wiggle my way into this thing. This is not that. I don't stand nothing to gain by saying, yo, bro, yeah, some of these heathens gonna be called by the Lord's name. I don't stand nothing to gain by it other than just preaching the pure gospel, the truth. So let's read the fine print, because we read this all the time. Deuteronomy chapter 7, 7 verse 6. For thou art holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all the people that are upon the face of the earth. Make no mistaken about it. This is talking about the children of Israel by flesh only, seed line, bloodline only. Make no mistake about it, right? All you got to do is just jump down. All you got to do is just jump down and read a couple more verses. I just read a few chapters down. Just wanted to see something. Verse 9, right? It says, know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, and the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations, and repayeth them that hate him to their face to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him, and will repay him to his face. Right? Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I've commanded thee to do. Right? So now he's saying that, y'all got this just so long as y'all do what it is that y'all got to do. But if y'all don't do what it is that y'all have to do, let's go to DEU 32, right? DEU 32. DEU 32 and 15, right? This is just in the same book. Look what happened to us. But Joshua, which is Israel, waxed fat and kicked, for thou waxen fat, thou grown thick, thou art converted with fatness. Then he forsook God which made him, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. They provoked him to jealousy with strange God and abominations. They provoked him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils, not to God, and to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. Right? And he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be, for they are very forward generation, children of whom there is no faith. Now pay attention to that word, forward generation. Right? When you go into that word, forward generation, let's see what the scriptures say. It says perverse thing. A perverse thing. This is crazy. You cannot make this up, bro. They have moved me to jealousy with that which is not a God. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities. I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with the foolish nation. Right? So now, right? Let's see what the book of Philippians says in 2:15. Philippians chapter 2, verse 15. Right? It says that they may be blameless and harmless, the sons of God, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shineth as the light in the world. So if the book of Philippians, according to your doctrine, was talking to the Israelites and to the Israelite foreigners, why is Paul telling the people that's underneath the Malak Tazadak to be blameless and harmless, the sons of God? Wait, aren't they all sons of God without rebuke in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation? Who is the crooked and perverse nation that the Bible speaks of? Israelites, according to the Holy Bible, right? So now when you go to 2 Peter's real quick, let's go back to 2 Peter's. 1 Peter's 2:9, right? When you go to 1 Peter's 2:9, but ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, particular, that ye should show forth the praises unto him who have called you out of darkness unto this marvelous light, in which in times past were not a people. Who is he speaking about? But are now a people of God, which have not attained mercy, and now have attained mercy. Dear beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lust which war after the soul. Who is he talking about? Who is he talking about? Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's go up to 4 real quick, because it says, as lively stones, to whom coming unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of God and precious. Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house, a holy priesthood, right? To offer up spiritual sacrifice. Wait a minute. This ain't talking about the Levitical priesthood, which had to offer up actual sacrifices. This is saying spiritual sacrifices, right? This is talking about lively stones. According to the Bible, John the Baptist but rather that God could rise up children of Abraham from stones. All right, I said that wrong. According to the John the Baptist did not say that his father could rise up stones to be his children, but rather that God could rise up children of Abraham from stones. Essentially meaning that God could choose anyone, even those considered not to be part of the Jewish lineage, to be considered the children of Abraham. This is recorded in Matthew 3:9, where he is addressing the Pharisees and Sadducees who were relying on their lineage to Abraham as guarantee of salvation. You cannot make this stuff up. Let's go to Matthew 3 and 9. If this isn't the case, why would he say nothing within yourselves? We have Abraham as a father. I know that you're Abraham's seed, but you seek to kill me, is what the Lord said. He said, you, your father, the devil. You guys got to stop this. You guys got to stop this. Matthew 3 and 9. Matthew 3 and 9. Right? I'll start at 7. And when he saw many of the Pharisees and the Sadducees come to his baptism, he said unto them, O generation of vipers. Hey, look, the Sadducees, that's Satan's seed. That's Satan's seed. Whom warned you to flee the wrath to come? Bring forth, therefore, fruits meet for repentance. The fruits that's needed to enter into the kingdom is the fruits of the Spirit. And think not to say within yourselves, we have Abraham as our father. So men are saying, well, we're Israelites. We're guaranteed. You shall not surely die. Even if we die on this side, we're going to come back into the kingdom. That's false doctrine, bro. Stop. For I say unto you that God is able of these stones to rise up children unto Abraham. And now also the axe is laid unto the root. That's that cutting, that falling away, cutting off. That's those branches that are falling off, the mystery spoken about by Apostle Paul in the book of Romans. And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees. Therefore every tree which bringeth not forth good fruits is hewed down and cast into the fire. It's not a joke, bro. This thing is real. Shalom.